We are getting new Lord of the Rings movies, and director Peter Jackson has some thoughts. I'm Troy from Marks on Movies, and today we're talking about comments from Peter Jackson and the possible remakes of his films based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post brand new videos. Now, on with the story. The article I'm referencing from comicbook.com is linked in the video description. The Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson reacts to news WB is making more movies. The work of J.R.R. Tolkien is headed back onto the big screen, with Warner Bros. Discovery and New Line Cinema developing new The Lord of the Rings films. The notion of new films within the saga is complex for multiple reasons. The recent purchase of the franchise's rights by Embracer Group, last year's release of the live-action television series The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, and the reverence for the Oscar-winning existing films helmed by Peter Jackson. While some fans might be worried that the new films might be unable to capture the magic of Jackson's films, it sounds like he is on board with what's ahead. In a recent statement to Deadline, Jackson, as well as his co-writers Fran Walsh and Philippa Bowens, revealed that they are in the loop with the new plans. Quote, "Warner Brothers and Embracer have kept us in the loop every step of the way," the Oscar-winning trio said. Quote, "We look forward to speaking with them further to hear their vision for the franchise moving forward." Everyone is so damn black-pilled on this right now just because we've been, keeping up with Hollywood for the past 15 years or so. So, I get it. Also, we went through that hellish monstrosity that was The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video. They started off looking promising with consulting with Tom Shippey from the Tolkien Institute, talking a bit with Peter Jackson, and then completely shutting them out and going their own direction. Peter Jackson is way too nice to give his honest opinions on the show, but I'll do it for him. It was an abomination. While us Tolkien loyalists were a bit disappointed with the Hobbit trilogy, which he never even wanted to make a trilogy from what I heard, but he was forced into, The Frauds of Prime makes a Hobbit trilogy look like a masterpiece on the level of Citizen Kane by comparison. I'll give some more opinions here in just a few minutes, but let's finish up with this article. Who owns the Lord of the Rings rights? Last August, the IP rights for The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit were purchased by the Embracer Group, with plans to extend the franchise even further. Prior to that purchase, Prime Video developed the first season of a television show in the franchise, The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, which has already been greenlit for a second season. Quote, "I am truly excited to have The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family, opening with more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group," said Lars Wingfors, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, founder and group CEO, Embracer Group, at the time. Quote, "I am thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP, with Free Mode and Asmodee as a start within the group. Going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with both existing and new external licensees of our increasingly stronger IP portfolio." I don't know much about Embracer Group other than that they're a Swedish video game company and used to be Nordic Games and then THQ Nordic. They apparently just go around buying up intellectual properties and making money on it. Most recently, they bought up IPs such as Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, and more than 50 others from Square Enix. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know anything about Embracer Group other than this, so I can't comment much on my confidence level or lack thereof that I have in them. However, this is still all under the Warner Bros. Discovery banner. WBD, as I've stated over and over in my videos, needs money, and they need it now. They suddenly decided, hey, we have all these popular IPs like DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, etc. Let's do more of that. Genius stuff right there. But hey, in Hollywood, I guess that counts for being a genius, because no one at this company thought of that until recently. I'm still smoking that hopium, and maybe I'm naive. I know things went horribly with Amazon, but anything that Jeff Bezos touches, I'm predisposed to not be a fan of it. WBD has also let me down in the past, outside of their games division that is, but I'm really holding out some sort of hope here. James Gunn is trying to take the DCU in a brand new direction that I'm being cautiously optimistic about. They're going to remake the Harry Potter films, but in a form of like a television series. That one I'm holding out on forming an opinion on until things are actually official. and now they're going back to Tolkien. They didn't say for sure that I'm aware of that they're remaking The Lord of the Rings per se. They just said that they're doing more films. That could mean anything, right? If they have the rights or can gain the rights to any of Tolkien's vast array of writings, they could do a lot with it and really expand upon the movies we already know and love. Remember that Amazon only purchased the television rights, and they only purchased the rights to some of the writings. WBD still has the film rights to it all, and there are plenty of writings, so if they don't own the rights yet, they can still buy them. Also, the fact that they're not just talking with Peter Jackson, but also his writing team, really makes me want to hold out some hope for this. Also, the fact that this Embracer group makes video games, I'm kind of hoping for some epic Lord of the Rings video games coming out of this. I've been a little disappointed with the ones we've gotten in the last I don't know how many years, so maybe we can actually get some really good ones, along with, since they just bought Tomb Raider, I'm assuming they're going to do more of her video games as well, which, again, would be awesome. Look, at the end of the day, us nerds aren't asking for a whole lot here. Yes, there are loyalists that say, no more remakes ever, and quit adapting video games and books into movies and shows because they'll never be as good, and I'll trash it no matter what. But you'll never please those people, no matter what you do. I'm hardcore, but I also try to keep a bit of an open mind. I'm part of a broad group of nerds and loyalists that just ask you to show reverence and respect for our favorite IPs, and to freaking us. Don't trash the fans before your product ever even hits the screen. Yes, again, people will have opinions. That's kind of how life works. But don't try to turn everyone's concerns and opinions into some social justice campaign to drum up support for your show. It's never worked before, and it won't work now. Show us some respect, and we'll show it in return. Hell, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but when Top Gun Maverick came out, and I'm not the biggest Top Gun fan either, but he came out, he thanked the fans, he was super gracious and super cool about it, and just loved on the fans over the film, and guess what? It made a buttload of money, and everybody seemed to really like it. Again, I'm not a big Top Gun fan, but I really like Top Gun Maverick, and the fact that they were respectful and nice to not only the IP, but the fans, that does go a long way. Comment down below with what you think about all this. Are you completely black-pilled on it all? Are you holding out any hope whatsoever that WBD can release anything watchable that are new Tolkien film adaptations? What do you think of the Hobbit trilogy? What did you think of The Rings of Power, or did you refuse to watch it? And look, even if you don't want this, it's gonna happen, so we just have to accept it. So tell us what you want to see come out of all of this. Also, please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell to be notified every single time we post brand new content. I've been Troy for Marks on Movies, and we'll see you next time.